So, if you're in the Salesforce world, you already know two things are true. One, it's an incredibly powerful platform. And two, the list of requests for new features and fixes, well, it never, ever stops. But here's the good news. You can actually meet those demands and extend Salesforce's capabilities without completely burning out your team. So let's talk about how we can do just that. Does this question hit a little too close to home? You've got this never-ending to-do list with requests pouring in from sales, from marketing, from the service team. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you are not alone. It's a super common challenge, and it creates a very specific kind of problem. We like to call this the app bottleneck. It's that point where the demand for new solutions just completely overwhelms your ability to actually build them. And to really get what this feels like, let me tell you a quick story. So meet D'Angelo. He built this awesome app for his company, and people love it, which is great, right? Well, the problem is he's just one guy, and now the requests are pouring in for more features, more improvements. There are only so many hours in the day. That is the bottleneck in action. But luckily for D'Angelo, and for all of us, there's a way out. All right, so let's introduce the hero of our story, the Salesforce AppExchange. This thing is the key to shattering that app bottleneck and unlocking a whole new universe of functionality for your company. So what is it exactly? The easiest way to think about it is like the App Store on your phone. It's this huge marketplace, just packed with thousands of apps and ready-to-go solutions built by Salesforce partners. Some are free, some you pay for, but they are all designed to plug right into your Salesforce org and solve very specific business problems. And here it is. This is what it looks like. You can browse for what you need, search for a specific tool. You need document generation. It's in there. You need to clean up duplicate data? Oh yeah, there are tons of apps for that. I can pretty much guarantee that if you have a business problem, someone has already built an app to solve it. Okay, now this is really, really important. Even though it feels like the App Store, you absolutely cannot treat it like one. Your Salesforce org is a critical, complex system for your business. This isn't the Wild West. You can't just start downloading whatever looks cool. You need a plan. And that brings us to what might be the single most important rule here: strategy before software. Seriously, a little bit of planning up front is going to save you a world of pain later on. So why does this matter so much? Well, a good strategy is what separates solving the right problem from just wasting time and money. It keeps you from buying an app that does something you could already do or spending a fortune on a massive solution when a simple free one would have worked just fine. At the end of the day, it's about making sure every dollar and every minute you spend actually counts. Your first step is always to talk to your stakeholders, the actual people who are going to be using this thing. And you need to ask the right questions. Don't ever ask, what app do you want? Instead, you need to ask, what business problem are you trying to solve? Get to the root of their pain points, figure out how many people need it, and get the real-world constraints like budget and timeline. This is your foundation. Okay, so this whole strategy really boils down to 5 simple steps. First, you identify your stakeholders. Then, you research the AppExchange to find apps that fit what they need. Step 3, and this one is non-negotiable, you test the app in a safe place called a sandbox. After that, you evaluate it with your users, get their feedback. And only then, when you're absolutely sure it's the right fit, do you deploy it into your real org and train everybody. All right, your strategy's in place, you found an app you love. Now for the fun part, installing it. But we're going to do it the right way, which always, always means the safe way. So here's a pretty typical app listing page. This one's for sending SMS messages. And you see that big blue Get It Now button, right? Oh man, it's so tempting to just click it. But wait, stop. Before you do anything, you have to read the fine print. Look at this note right here. It says you must already own other Salesforce products before you can even install this. Can you just imagine the frustration of going through the whole installation process, only to find out it's never going to work because you're missing a prerequisite? This is exactly why reading every detail on the listing is so critical. So to make this super easy, I want you to burn this into your brain. Before you ever click that Get It Now button, I want you to stop, take a breath, and answer 3 simple but absolutely vital questions. Here it is, your pre-flight check. First, have I met all the requirements they listed? We just saw how important that is. Second, where am I installing this? And the answer, almost every single time, needs to be in a sandbox first. And third, who's going to get access to this thing? Is it just for admins, for a specific team? Figuring out permissions before you install makes everything that comes after so much smoother. Let's just double-click on that sandbox point for a second, because it's that important. A sandbox is basically a copy of your Salesforce environment. It's a safe playground where you can install stuff, test things out, try your best to break it, all without any risk to your real, live, mission-critical business data. This is probably the single most important best practice I can give you. Always, always, always test in a sandbox first. And hey, once you've safely installed the app in your sandbox or production org, you might be wondering, okay, where did it go? It's easy. Just go to Setup and search for installed packages. Think of that page as your inventory of everything you've ever added from the AppExchange. It's where you can see all the bits and pieces, the code, the fields, the objects that came with the app. Okay, we have covered a lot. We've got the strategy, we know the safe installation process. You now have the complete framework to start supercharging your Salesforce org. So what's next? Here's a little pro tip for you. If you just want to get your feet wet and try this out without spending any money, go check out the apps from Salesforce Labs. They're all totally free. And even better, most of them are open source, which means you can actually pop the hood and see exactly how they were built. It's an incredible way to learn more about the platform itself. This has been a fantastic primer on how to get started with the AppExchange. You're ready to go. And as they always say in the Salesforce community, happy trails. Keep learning, keep building. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. You now have the strategy, you know the process, you know how to find a real business need, find a solution for it, and then implement it safely and effectively. The only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first?